Welcome to this vlog with me, Ruth Richards, creator of The Intuition Connection. Those of you who know me know that I live in the UK, although I have travelled around the world, and every country I have visited has its own unique culture. One of the unique aspects of the cultural society in the UK is that there is still a royal family, and this weekend is the coronation of a king. Whether you are a royalist or not, it can be agreed that this represents a significant moment in our cultural history. There will be pomp and circumstance and visitors from all over the world to witness this coronation. For royalists, it will be a happy and celebratory day. However, there is another narrative that provokes emotion and strong opinions. It has already been reported by the media that millennials consider the royal family irrelevant. There have also been reports recently that the royal family, and that includes royals you may never have heard of, are connected to the history of the slave trade. Throughout the history of the royal family, there is also the thread of misogyny and unfair treatment of women. More than anything, the royal family and the aristocratic families of the UK are a reminder of the class system that still exists in today's modern culture. For those of you who are not royalists and are triggered by the coronation, the royal family and the celebratory events taking place this week, this vlog is a reminder that you have the free will choice to disconnect and disengage from this. Whilst all this is going on around you, you can choose to participate in other activities that nourish your soul. You could use the time for your own self-care, to do something that brings you joy, or use the time to do something for your family or your community. The important thing to remember is to stay neutral in your thoughts about what is happening and avoid getting negatively attached to the drama. In this vlog, I want to share with you some questions that may help you understand why you are triggered and what you can do about it to help yourself this weekend. So, do you know why this triggers you? And do you know why? Let's explore a little bit more. We're usually triggered when something that doesn't meet with our values, or we find something so indifferent and abhorrent to our values that we can't tolerate it. So what are your views that trigger you regarding this situation? Do you think it's old-fashioned that by an accident of birth, one person can be led to a destiny to be a king or queen? Do you think that having a royal family continues to promote an unequal view of society and maintains our class system? Do you have a cultural and family story that tells you of the barbaric history of royalty that is still prevalent for you today? For example, if you had family who were involved in the slave trade and were slaves and servants of prior royals. And do you find it hard to relate to the idea of royalty because your values do seem so different? A lot of the history that I was taught at school, and maybe you are as well, was around the royal family. We know the misogyny of Henry VIII. We know what happens when there is one absolute ruler. It creates a history that can be difficult. So what is it that triggers you? Has the idea of pledging allegiance to a king made you angry or triggered you in some way? Remember, you have free will, and we are fortunate that we live in a reasonably free society and no one is being forced to make this pledge. To live fully within your spirituality is to understand why you are triggered, but equally to understand why others feel differently. If you have family or friends that wish to take the pledge, even if this goes against everything you value, accept their values are different from yours. They have their free will to choose to make the pledge in the same way you have the choice not to do so. Spirituality of compassion, understanding and tolerance is what contributes to a civilized society and what can help us change the society that we live in. As you focus your time on other things this weekend, think about what are the pledges you could make for yourself, for your family, for your beliefs. This event provides an opportunity to learn more about yourselves, your attitudes, your biases, and why you believe what you believe, but also to see what others believe. You could make a pledge to yourself to uphold your values, to show more compassion and tolerance, to listen more than talk. I'm finishing this vlog by sharing with you something from my book, Reclaim Your Intuition. I call it the empowered woman's promise to herself. Of course, you can change woman to reflect how you identify your gender, or just call it your empowered promise to yourself. And feel free to change and adapt this to what works for you. Create your own promise for yourself to help heal yourself and the world around you. Thank you for watching this vlog, and if you enjoyed it, please do give it a like. If you want to stay in touch, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Intuition Connection, or sign up for my newsletters on my website, and you can also find me on LinkedIn. Until next time, I wish you a wonderful weekend, and I'm sending you love and empowerment.